we're going to celebrate the fact that it's been 25 years since free transfers was a thing in football. That really is a bit of a historic moment. Back in December of 1995, a Belgian footballer called Jean-Marc Bosman created the Bosman ruling, which meant that footballers can leave at their current club at the end of their contract, and decide where they want to go to next. 25 years on, wow, it's completely been mad. We've seen so many free transfers. Some have been a bit boring, a bit obvious, but some have been absolute steals. And without Luke Tanner's money involved, it's been absolute cracking signings we have seen over the last 25 years. It happens a lot now. It's a normal thing in football. But Luke, let's start off with you, because I mean, Bosman, he's sadly, it's not a footballer we talk about often enough. He wasn't exactly a big player on the pitch. He did a lot more off the pitch. Sadly, his history hasn't gone down well, but it's definitely an historical moment, the fact that you can now get players for free.
Yeah, I think now, especially, the free transfer is, especially for some players that are like umming and ahhing whether or not to sign a new deal. It's like, well, I go on the free, and then I get like a hell of a lot more money afterwards. But yeah, especially over the years, there have been some iconic free transfers, like in the Premier League and abroad. But I feel like the more iconic free transfers have been the ones like abroad, such as Robert Lewandowski to Bayern for free.
Oh.
Is probably for me the best free transfer, like the GOAT free transfer. Like, look, like since he's gone to Bayern, he's won everything possible. His goals have gone up and up and up and up until last season he broke all the records. It like his numbers at the end of last season was like, hold on, is that Messi or Ronaldo there? Like those were the numbers, and then match for that, he won the treble as well. So for me, Robert Lewandowski is my GOAT free transfer.
Joe, the free transfer market is quite a beautiful thing. You know, there's some players that become available, and actually some well-known players get forgotten sometimes by some clubs. Let's not forget, like Fernando Llorente recently was a free transfer, and then obviously Edinson Cavani going to Man United, a free transfer for a few months. So, I mean, this new thing I say new thing, it's been around for 25 years. What Jean-Marc Bosman did was clearly another opportunity for players to go to clubs that they probably never would have thought of.
Yeah, it's quite strange because obviously the Bosman rule has been in all of our lifetimes, I think. Obviously, I was born in 96, so it's been coming 95. So yeah, it's been in all my lifetime. So I've never known a world of football without the Bosman rule in here, free transfers. And people forget that Jean-Marc Bosman lost 5 years of his career because his registration was held by RFC Liège, rivals of Standard Liège, and he wanted to go to Dundalk, and because his contract was up, and he won. Well, obviously his contract was up, but they still owned his registration, and he wanted to go to Dundalk and everything. He couldn't play. He couldn't play football, and obviously he went to court, and they thought it would take 5 weeks. It took 5 years, so he lost a large chunk of his playing career and sacrificed his career for the greater good of football. You could argue, but yeah, it's an interesting rule. And sometimes you look at it and you think players are using it wrongly, but the fact that a football club could stop you from being employed somewhere else was wrong in itself morally as well. If I had a job in a shop and I wanted to leave my contract, we have like a rolling contract in a shop, I presume, but I had a contract for a set period of time and that come to an end, and I wanted to join somewhere else, and they can't stop me from joining somewhere else, can they? And in any other walk of life, they can't stop you from doing that. So why could the football club do that? I don't understand. But in terms of transfers, yeah, it's fantastic for the players. But the negative side of the thing was it made an increase in player power, with the whole money and negotiating of contracts. And I think if you look in hindsight, they probably should have introduced a salary cap in at the same time.
And Joe, in terms of free transfers, what would you say is one of the greatest free transfers you've ever seen? And maybe give us a quick few that you really enjoyed seeing, but what would you say is the greatest free transfer?
I've got to agree with Luke that the greatest at the moment looks like Robert Lewandowski, but there's been some fantastic ones down the years. Henrik Larsson to Barcelona. He obviously turned the 2006 Champions League final on its head. That was the start of misery, really, for Arsenal fans, let's be honest, and it's a lot worse at the moment for them.
14 years later, it continues.
James Milner, as a Liverpool fan, it wasn't a sign that excited me, but you look at it 5 years on, and that was an absolutely brilliant piece of business from the football club.
I can't get over the fact that you got James Milner for free, because even at that time, okay, Liverpool weren't well, you know, they were up there still. It's not like, you know, still Liverpool, still a big club. It still amazed me that James Milner went from City to Liverpool. I would have thought Milner to any other club apart from United and Liverpool, no problem. But yeah, even on day one when that transfer happened, I thought that was an absolute steal.
City thought that. City thought he was over the hill at 29, but it's shown now that he's still one. I think he was like one of the fittest players at Liverpool at the age of like 34. So it shows that City can make poor transfer decisions.
And Joe, and of course, he's won the Champions League and the Premier League with Liverpool, which he didn't win the Champions League with City.
Big clubs, mate. Big club.
Yeah. City aren't used to the big European moments, are they? They're not going to was it one European trophy in their existence? So,
no.
You know, big clubs.
The closest
not
City
not bankrolled by all money. So.
Well, the closest that City are going to see the Champions League is going on a Liverpool Stadium tour. That's the closest they're getting to one.
One transfer that still angers me to this day as a Liverpool fan is Steve McManaman. His to Real Madrid. It was a fantastic piece of business from Real Madrid, and he won 2 European Cups there. But the bit that angers me is not the fact that Liverpool so much that Liverpool lost a player. It's more the fact that his attitude around it. You know, he got offered 2 contracts by Liverpool, and he rejected both of them. The terms-wise, he got the length of the contract he wanted, and it was all to do with money, McManaman. And in the end, he decided to go to Madrid. He said he wanted to try. His excuse was trying football abroad, but really, it was all down to the money.
Yeah, I feel like with free transfers, that's what sort of motivates the player now, is money, because they know that when you go on the free, you get a massive signing on bonus. So I feel like that's one of the motivations, and like we could be talking this with Messi at the end of the season when he leaves for free, because whichever clubs he's going to go to, he's going to get a wad full of money,
and that could be the new go to free transfers, Luke. Who knows? In terms of wherever he goes, he might help his next team win the Champions League, like Lewandowski did at Bayern Munich from Dortmund. But I guess I think for me, we got to talk about the craziest free transfers, and for me, the one at the top is Andre Pirlo in 2011 from AC Milan to Juventus. I still can't get over the fact. It's still weird for me, Luke, to see Andre Pirlo wearing that Juventus shirt and actually showing that passion when he scores a goal or celebrates a win with his team.
The thing is, right, like, I only started watching football in 2010. So when I started seeing on Pirlo, I was used to seeing him in a Juve shirt. So when I found out that he went for free to AC,
me and you have very different childhoods.
Yeah.
I remember growing up with Pirlo as an AC Milan player, just being that deadly man in midfield, winning 2 Champions Leagues with AC Milan, and everyone thought he's going to be there till he retires. It still amazes me.
It baffles me that I feel.
Do you know he played for Inter as well?
What, did he?
Yes. Yeah, he did. He did, but AC Milan felt like his club, didn't it? With how long he was there for.
Hey, speaking of AC Milan, they've had some good luck with free transfers as well. Cafu was a free transfer.
Yeah. Well, actually, talking about Juventus, Joe, they've been the kings of free transfers. There's a long list of them in the last few years. Patrice Evra, Dani Alves. I mean,
Sami Khedira,
Sami Khedira. It's
Paul
just
Pogba,
So we could
Paul
do
Pogba,
Emre Can, Rabiot.
Emre Can. I mean,
Ramsey.
surely they're the kings. Wasn't Buffon a free transfer technically?
No. I think Buffon cost he was the world record for a goalkeeper back in '97. I think he cost 30 million.
No. I mean,
Buffon.
when they got him
I
back.
think you mean now.
Yeah.
Oh, back.
When he got back.
Yeah, free transfer.
Yeah. Free transfer, another one. So, I mean, I guess in a way, Joe, with these free transfers as well, it's probably saved some clubs a lot of money.
Or cost people a lot of money.
Yeah,
'Cause if
and
you,
the great little thing.
I always
It's a
think,
great little thing for the little clubs, isn't it?
but I always think
Yeah.
Sorry.
people go on about last summer, Edinson Cavani went to United on the last day on free transfer, and yes, some people can say, yeah, but there's a lot of money going into his wages and all that. But it's well, if he was on a contract, we'd be talking a few tens of millions then, Luke.
yeah, definitely.
At the end of the day, if he is only going to be at United for 2 years, it's going to be 14 million spent on his wages.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at it, it was that or 30-40 million at least.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like when clubs
And shirt sales. Let's not forget shirt sales.
Yeah, I feel like when clubs get a free transfer, they know that they can pay them more wages because there's not a transfer fee attached to the player. So yeah, I feel like that's going to be more normal now. I think, because if you look at Liverpool, Wijnaldum, he's going to go on a free. Whether or not he's going to sign a new deal or not is a different story. But when he leaves, he'll be able to go, right, this is what I want. This is what I want money wise, and I want a big fat signing on bonus because they're going to be free.
I mean, actually, Luke, you've actually done a bit of research into free transfers. Have you got any honourable mentions?
Honourable mentions, right? I will find where I found all the free transfers. I'm just gonna have to shout out to the flops, the big free transfer flops. Joe Cole to Liverpool, Michael Owen to Stoke. I'm trying to think. There's loads that are Jovanovic to Liverpool. Liverpool have been. They've been mugged off with some free transfers. Liverpool. Just coming to think about that now. We've had some good free transfers, such as Joel Matip, but we've had some awful ones as well. I'm just trying to find.
Good old Alex Manninger.
I love it, Luke, how you even said that
Didn't
Son
play
was
game.
still a rip-off.
Yeah, Son was still a rip-off. Yeah.
Still a rip-off. Brilliant.
Shamak
I was
to
so
Arsenal.
excited for Joe Cole, and then
The Joe Cole transfer is just like the Perlo one. It was just weird seeing him leave a club he'd been at for so long.
Here we go. I have found the list.
He's got the list.
Found the list. Right, big name flops. Mentioned Joe Cole, George Weah to City, Robert Pires, Aston Villa, Michael Owen Stoke, Victor Valdez United, Ian Rush to Leeds, Mark Bosnick to Chelsea, Freddie Lundberg Celtic, and Javier Savola to Real Madrid. And these are some awful ones here. This is awful. This is a level below. Philip Degan, Liverpool, Milan Jovanovic, Liverpool, Jose Basingua, QPR, Shamak, Arsenal, Andriy Voronin, Liverpool, Anu Vieira, Sunderland, and Malden Petrick, West Ham, and still a rip-off, Winston Bogard, Chelsea.
Some interesting ones there. Well, I think we all know who is the greatest free transfer of all time. But let's just confirm it. Luke?
Robert Lewandowski.
Robert Lewandowski. Joe?
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski. Not Lewandowski in the words of Luke Tanner, who must learn how to spell his name. I'll tell you what, lads.
I'll be back 1 second.
Let's turn it the other way around.
Lewandowski. I'll be back in a second.
Let's turn it the other way around, Luke. How about the biggest flop of a free transfer?
Biggest flop. Jeez.
Oh, hang on, Joe. If you speak, we can see it. Joe,
Lewandowski. Biggest flop of a treat.
I don't think Joe knows that we're on speaker view, so no one would have seen that. He's showing his Lewandowski shirt. Go on, Joe, keep speaking so we can see it.
Robert Lewandowski.
I'm trying to think.
You see it?
Yeah, there he is. But Luke,
Robert Lewandowski.
who is the biggest flop in your eyes, Luke?
Winston Bogart.
Really?
Chelsea. Yeah, it probably is. I'm just trying to think. I'd probably go for one like when I was watching football. Probably the one that made no sense to me was Victor Valdes to Man United. That was one that made no sense.
Yeah, I never understood
to
that
me
one
at all.
Joe, what is your biggest flop of a free transfer?
Well, you put me on the spot there. I'm just trying to think. There's been so many. I'm just trying to. You've really put me on the spot. I didn't think of a flop.
Oh, yeah, Mike Lyons to Stoke. That was a disgusting transfer.
Oh, how low he went.
Stoke. Yeah, the fact he still mentions Liverpool in week.
A really big one that. I forgot that Lundberg played for Celtic.
Yeah, I completely forgot. I think Roy Keane played for Celtic on a free. I can't remember. That was a weird one.
He did.
I'll
go with Joe Cole because of how poor he was as a Liverpool fan.
Joe Cole sent off on his debut, didn't he?
He got sent off on his debut as well, against Arsenal. If I can remember.
And helped Hazard go to Chelsea when he was at Lille.
Well, anyway, lads, thank you very much for being in this video. And of course, let us know at home, what is the greatest free transfer of all time in your eyes? Or what is the worst free transfer you've ever seen? Or in the words of Luke Tanner, what is still a rip-off?